Hi, and thank you so much for purchasing a 4th Street Creative template. This is the video walkthrough for the Kensington IG Posts. Once you get the link, you'll be directed to a page that looks like this. You hit Use Template, and that will bring you into your own Canva account. And once you're here, the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to File and make a copy. So that way, if you do make mistakes or you head way off the direction that you wanted to, and you just want to start from scratch, you have the master file available for you on your home page, rather than having to download the entire thing over again from Etsy. So once you've done that, you're safe to upload your listing photos, and you're going to do that in the Uploads tab. Hit the Upload button, and then locate the listing photos on your computer and open them. Once you do that, it will look like this. And now you're good to just swap out the images for your own images. And you do that by highlighting this overlay. So some of these slides do have overlays on them just to make the wording pop a little bit. So you have some options with the overlay, but I'm going to show you first how to change the photo. So if you want to access the photo behind the overlay, just drag the overlay, highlight the photo behind it, and then choose your own image and pop it into place. Once you hover it over the image box, it will pop into place. You can double click it to adjust the positioning within the box. And when you're happy with the positioning, just drag the overlay back over. You can change the font by highlighting the font, heading over to the font tab, and selecting either your own brand font or just a font that you like to use. And you can do the same here. You can change this to anything you'd like, just sold, just listed, exclusive, leased, open house. And this can be changed as well. Something that you can do is to upload your own logo. Let's see. So you upload your own logo, click it once to bring it into the document, the template, and then you can resize it to fit nicely here, and then delete this. That's just a great way to just bring your brand into the design. Any of these slides that have colors that you would like to change, just make sure they're highlighted, then head over to the color tab and change it to anything that you like. This is a really easy way to just make your brand work with these slides. So once you're happy with that, you highlight the photo here to change the image. You can change it to anything you'd like. Just hover it over the frame to pop it into place. These slides are just examples, so they're perfect for plug and play. So if you want to use them as a testimonial slide, that's fine, but I've numbered them because you might want to highlight properties of the house. So you might want to use this slide to highlight how awesome this bathroom is and how cozy and quaint and just welcoming it is. You might want to take this entire slide to do that. And then on number 2, you might want to highlight something else about the property entirely. And on number 3, you might want to do the same. See if this is number 3, we did the bathroom already. So, or you can just use it as a testimonial slide. It's completely up to you. Put that one there. So on this slide, again, if you want to adjust the sizing of the images, you just drag it from the edge, and then you can make it your own. Okay, and if you don't like the positioning of it within the box, double click, and you can move it around until you're happy with the way that it looks. Okay, that looks good. Change this information. And if you want to add a text box, because you might want to just make this property information and add open house Saturday 2 to 4, just hit T, the letter T is in text, make sure nothing's highlighted, T is in text on your keyboard, and that brings up your own text box. So really easy way to get your own text box up there if you want to add additional information. Okay, this is just an informational slide. Again, change color, change font, change the color of this if you'd like. Another thing you might want to do is add elements. So if this is a testimonial, let's say, you might want to go over to elements and add something like quote. And then you'll get these quotes. Let me just make the free filter on here. So if you have a free account, these would be the ones that are available to you. And you can just add cute little icons to it to match your brand. and that's it. On these, again, plug and play, just grab your own images and you can change them up. You can change these to match your needs, so just sold, just listed, just sold, over asking, you can do things like that. This, we just put the area that it was in, just to add some, just bring some attention to the actual area. You can put anything you'd like here. You could put the property. Let's do 244 York Street. Now, if it turns out like this, your property address is too big and you like the size of the font, but it's just not working for you, you can adjust the spacing. So with this, it would be hard to adjust the spacing because it's going to look a little bit cramped. So in this case, I would say you are stuck with reducing the size of your font. So let's make it 88. That still looks good, not too small. But now, if you highlight this and head over to spacing, what this does is add spaces between the letters. So you can actually just make things look a little bit more refined by just adjusting the space between the letters. So I'm going to adjust the space without having to reduce my font anymore, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it like that. And here's a blog post that you can change to match your needs. Now, anytime you see that a photo looks a little bit washed out behind it, that's because of the overlay. And I am now going to show you how you can adjust this. So if you have a photo behind here that you'd like to draw more attention to, you think this is a little bit too dark, you have two choices. You can either go over to the text box and change it, or sorry, the color box, and change it to a different color, a lighter one, right, that's not so harsh. Or if you like the dark overlay, you can go to transparency and adjust that so that you can make the image behind it pop a little bit more, but you can still read the text. So if I just remove that, I'm going to show you. You can't read the text at all, so that's why we use overlays, to draw attention to the text. And I like to keep it at around 60 usually. Yeah, 60 is really nice because you get to see the text, but if you really want to see the photo behind it, you can even go to 40 or sometimes even less, depending on the photo, and see the photo behind it. I like 60, I'm going to keep it there. Okay. Again, anything can change here. This is an element that's provided by Canva. So if you don't like this, you can always go to Elements Quote and choose the free one that you'd like to use here. Same element. And again, I think that I've adjusted the transparency on this. Yep. So I brought the transparency down a bit just to keep it in the background. You can do that even more. Bring it up, bring it down. And this can be, you can make these photos larger or smaller. And I'm going to show you if you want to add more photos. Let's say you want to make this 4. So I'm going to highlight this box, then I'm going to right click my mouse and click copy, and then right click paste, and that just creates an equal sized box that I'm going to place underneath. I'm going to do the same one with this, copy, paste, bring it down. Canva has these cool guides that just snaps everything into place all neat for you. Now I'm going to click this box, hit shift on my keyboard, select the next box. I'm still holding shift, and I'm going to select the next box. Again, I'm still holding shift in the last box, and that's just grouped all my images together. And now I can move them around as one object. And that's how you can make these work for you. So if you want to have a 4 block, you can just change the photos and then tell more of the story that you want to tell. And now you can have a nice story of behind the scenes or anything you want here. You can, when you're having your home staged, you can put staging process and put all these photos here. It's completely up to you. And then again, overlay. You'll know that there's an overlay because it really darkens and washes out the photo behind it. So you just squeeze that out of the way and then put your own photo in. Okay. Okay, so when I pop this image into place, it actually makes the entire slide look brown. And if you're going for a white and black look, if you're going for that vintage look and you don't want that brown look, this is a great teaching opportunity, because sometimes you're going to have photos of your listings that just counteract the overall aesthetic that you're going for. And this is a great way to use overlays. So because this image is so brown, I am going to adjust the overlay transparency. I'm going to bring it up a bit, about 60. And now it's back to being that dark blackish look that I was going for. But if we leave it too light, the browns in the photo behind it really take over, and it might not work visually in our feed. So you just want to bring that opacity up a bit. And now we're back to the right coloring. So when you're ready, you go to download, make sure that PNG is selected, and you can either download just 1 or 2 frames depending on your needs, or you can download them all. And once you do that, it will download into a zip file, and when you open the zip file, you can send them to yourself however you would send images to yourself. So Google Drive, AirDrop, Dropbox, or just email them to yourself and save them onto your phone. And then you're ready to post on Instagram. I hope this was helpful. And if you need any more tips or tricks or tutorials, please head over to 4thstreet.com/tutorials for our full resource library. Happy designing!